Today we're going to talk about the decommitment of JUCO wide receiver Kendarius Taylor, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time, and today we're going to talk about Kendarius Taylor reopening his recruitment. Now, there's several different ways to look at this, and I'm a glass half empty kind of dude because that is the way that I plan life. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and then I work from there because positivity ends up being a good thing, especially if you plan for negativity to prevail. So, the way that Negative Nancy looks at Kendarius Taylor decommitting, reopening his recruitment is such. This is the third 2020 decommitment from the 2020 recruiting class in 3 months. That ain't exactly how you draw it up. And in Kendarius Taylor, you had a guy who could go both ways. This is a guy who was considered an athlete in the 2018 class, had committed to the 2018 class. Grades were an issue depending on who you talk to. Either or, he ended up going the JUCO route, Ocopiah Lincoln Co-League, for those that, know from JUCO. And he showed out there. And at 6'2", 206 pounds, he was the kind of guy that you expected to play on the outside. The next CeeDee Lamb, if you will. But you also got 3 5-star wide receivers in this class. So it ain't like you're hurting, especially for the next outside wide receiver in the 2020 class. And you've been loading up on guys that can play inside. Guys like DJ Graham. Guys like Trevin West. Do you need a Kendarius Taylor? Not necessarily, but you took his commitment, and you took his commitment in January, which signals to most that he's the kind of guy that you want to have in an OU jersey. And why not? He can return kicks. He's an outstanding wide receiver, especially in space. And for those of you that want to continue to pound the drum of why don't some of these wide receivers, where you have a surplus of wide receivers, become defensive backs because a 6'3" corner ain't normal and could probably do some work. We've been pointing at A.D. Miller for that reason, right? But it seems that Lincoln Riley was saying, look, we're thin at outside wide receiver right now. We could really use the depth in an A.D. Miller, which raised eyebrows for me because I'm going, who do you not have that you thought you would have, right? Now I'm asking questions of guys like Michael Jones. But getting back to Kendarius Taylor, nah, you don't want to lose a commitment. Nobody wants to lose a commitment. Now, there's those that would make the argument that you're making room for an outstanding 2020 class update, if you will, at the 2019 spring game, okay? In losing commitments from cornerbacks Jalen Huff and Darian Green-Warren, and now wide receiver Kendarius Taylor, we're all expecting a big number for the spring game. I don't think it's going to be as big as last year, where you got like basically 7 commits through 2 classes, but you have to expect Lincoln Riley and the staff to refill what they left. But I am a person. The kids are people. I don't believe that it's so simple to just say, you know what? We're just going to go refill what we lost. Because people are people, man. Nobody wants to be considered some sort of fodder. And not everybody wants to come to Oklahoma to play. As much as folks hate to hear that. Now, some recruiting is required. More than a little bit of recruiting is required, honestly. But I do think that there are a number of players that absolutely want to end up at Oklahoma. And will they make that intention known at the spring game? We'll see. But I don't necessarily look at Kendarius Taylor decommitting in the way that I looked at Darian Green-Warren decommitting. Because I think Darian Green-Warren, DGW, is going to be an outstanding college football cornerback. Kendarius Taylor going the JUCO route in the 2020 class. You're really getting choosy about those guys in the JUCO ranks. And you usually get those guys added to fill out the class at the end of the cycle. We're talking September into December. Just take a look at what Oklahoma did in the 2019 class, right? With LaRon Stokes late. With Ramondre Stevenson late. So if you think you can get another guy like Michael Wyman, yeah, sure, go get him. But I do think Kendarius Taylor is going to end up being a pretty good wide receiver wherever he goes. Got offers from Tennessee, Mississippi State, Memphis. He's from Memphis. That figures. He just kind of caustically and if not cryptically reopened his recruitment on Twitter, and we'll see what happens there. all of the guys that decommit could one day recommit. But in the positivity and the glass half full look at this is, yeah, Oklahoma will be okay. But it is something to keep an eye on as you go forward. And we're going to have a lot of answers following the weekend of the spring game. And we're going to get to know whether or not everybody should be freaking out or everybody should be like, you know what, trust the process. Lincoln and the staff know what they're doing. You usually fall into schools of thought on that one. And we'll all be interested to see what that looks like in the coming weeks. All right, that's it for me. Doses.